welcome to the Church Apps Podcast.
Free software, built by the church, for the church.
Welcome back to the Church Apps Podcast. I'm Michael. Today, we're talking about something that none of us really want to think about, building a church website. Carrie, be honest. Is this one of those things that just feels hard?
It has a reputation for being hard. And for a lot of churches, it has been hard. You either pay a developer or you pay a monthly subscription to some platform, or you get somebody in the congregation who sort of knows what they're doing and you just hope they stick around. None of those are great options.
And yet, if there's one thing a church cannot afford to skip, it's a good website. The data on this is pretty clear. A recent audit of nearly 3,000 churches found that only about a third of them have a website that makes a good first impression. 2 out of 3 churches either have no real web presence or have one that's working against them.
And if they can't find you, or if they land on a site that looks outdated or is hard to navigate on their phone, they move on. That's a real person who was looking for a church, and your church didn't get the chance to say hello.
And we know that people are searching. Pew Research has documented that online search is one of the primary ways people find a new church, right alongside word of mouth. If your site isn't ready when someone searches, you're invisible.
Your website is your front door. Before anyone talks to a greeter, before they hear the music, before they sit down, they've already formed an opinion based on what they saw on their phone. So yes, it matters.
And that's exactly why we built something into Church Apps to make this easy. No third-party platform, no monthly fee, no developer required. It's just there. Carrie, walk us through what churches actually have access to.
Right, so every B1 Church account comes with a full website builder built in. Let's start at the very beginning. The first thing to know is that you already have a web address. It's your churchname.b1.church. That's your subdomain, and you can set it to something short and recognizable from your settings. So if your church is Grace Community, you might set it to gracecommunity.b1.church.
And that works right away? No setup needed?
Right away. You can literally share that link and people can visit your site. But most churches will eventually want to use their own custom domain, like gracecommunity.org or whatever they already have. And that's supported too.
How does the custom domain work?
It's a DNS change. You go into your domain registrar, GoDaddy, Cloudflare, wherever you bought your domain, and you add 2 records. An A record pointing to Church App's IP address, and a C name for the www version. Then you go back into B1 admin, enter your custom domain, and save. It usually propagates within a few minutes.
That sounds more technical than it is. For someone who's never touched DNS before, is there guidance?
There's a step-by-step guide at support.churchapps.org. And honestly, most domain registrars have pretty clear interfaces for adding DNS records now. If you get stuck, the support team can walk you through it.
All right, so I've got my domain set up. Now what? I've got a blank website.
Now you build your pages. Once you're logged into B1 admin, click Dashboard in the left sidebar, then select Website from the dropdown. That opens the website pages view, your central hub for creating pages, editing them, managing navigation. From there, you click Add Page, choose Blank, and you're in the page builder.
And there's a hierarchy to how pages work?
Yes, and this trips some people up at first. Every page is built with sections. A section is the container. Think of it as a block on your page. Before you can add any content, you have to add a section first. Once the section's there, you click Add Content inside it, and then you can drop in text, images, videos, cards, forms, whatever you need.
So it's like stacking building blocks?
Exactly. Top section might be your welcome banner with a big image. Next section is an intro paragraph. Then a section with your service times, then a map, then a contact form at the bottom. You just keep stacking.
What about the homepage specifically? Is there anything special about setting that up?
Just one thing. When you set the URL path for your homepage, it needs to be a single /. That's it. Just slash, nothing after it. Every other page uses a path like /about or /sermons or /contact. But the homepage is just slash.
What kind of content elements are available?
You've got text, images, video, cards, which are great for things like staff bios or ministry highlights, forms for collecting prayer requests or registrations, and there's even a location element that displays your church address with a map. And all of it is drag and drop. No code.
Let's talk about making it look like your church. Colors, fonts, branding. How does that work?
That's all in the Appearance tab. Once you're in the website pages view, click the Appearance tab at the top and you get a live preview of your site on one side and the style settings on the other. You can change your color palette, set your primary, secondary, and accent colors. Pick your fonts for headings and body text and upload your church logo. All of that applies across your entire website at once.
So if I change my primary color, it updates everywhere?
Everywhere. You don't have to touch individual pages. That's what makes the appearance settings so powerful. You set it once at the site level, and it's consistent across every page.
What about logos? Is there anything to know there? Because I feel like this is where a lot of churches get tripped up.
It is, and it's worth taking a few minutes to do this right because it affects how your church looks everywhere, not just on your website. There are actually 4 different logo-related files you can upload, and they each have a different job.
4? Walk me through them.
Okay. The first 2 are your main logos, one for light backgrounds and one for dark backgrounds. And this is the one that catches people off guard. They upload one logo and then wonder why it looks washed out or invisible on certain parts of the site. The reason is that your header might be white on one page and dark on another. Church Apps automatically swaps between the 2 versions depending on the background, but only if you've uploaded both.
So if I only upload one, I might get a white logo on a white background and it just disappears.
Exactly. So upload both. For both of these, you want a PNG with a transparent background. Not white, not gray, transparent. And the shape should be roughly 4:1, so 4 times as wide as it is tall. 1280 by 320 pixels is the sweet spot. Horizontal logos display better in website headers anyway.
And hey, real quick, if this is starting to feel a little technical, stay with us. We have something coming up that makes all of this completely doable. No tech background required at all. We promise. What are the other 2?
The third is your social media image. This is the image that shows up when someone shares a link to your website on Facebook, iMessage, or anywhere else that generates a preview card. It's not your logo. It's more like a banner image for your church. A good size for that is 1200 by 630 pixels. That's the standard open graph size, and it'll look great everywhere.
So when someone texts your church's website link to a friend, that image is what pops up in the preview.
Right. And that first impression matters. A lot of churches leave this blank and then wonder why their link previews look bad. Just take your church logo, put it on a branded background with your church name, export it at 1200 by 630, and you're done.
And the 4th one?
The favicon. That's the tiny icon that shows up in the browser tab. The little square next to your website's name at the top of the browser. You've seen them everywhere. For this one, make it a square. 400 by 400 pixels works well, and keep it simple. Your church logo, mark, or cross, or initials. Something that's still recognizable at a very small size.
So to recap, light background logo, dark background logo, social media image, and favicon. All 4, all different jobs.
And if you take the time to upload all 4 correctly, your church looks polished everywhere someone might encounter your brand, on your website, in their browser tab, in a text message preview. It's one of those things that takes maybe 30 minutes to set up, and then it's just done.
What format and size again for the main logos?
PNG, transparent background, 4:1 ratio. 1280 by 320 is the recommended size. And do both light and dark versions. Your designer probably has them already, or your logo file might have multiple versions in it.
Great. What about navigation? How do I control what shows up in the menu?
The navigation sidebar is right in the website pages view. You click Add to create a new link, point it to one of your pages or an external URL, and then drag and drop to put things in the right order. You can also nest links, so you could have an About menu item with Our Team, Beliefs, and History, nested underneath it as a dropdown.
Any best practices there?
Keep your top level to 5 or 6 items. Visitors should be able to find what they're looking for without having to dig through a big menu. The most important pages, Home, Service Times, Connect, Give, those should be front and center.
I want to ask about something called blocks. What are those?
Blocks are reusable content components. So let's say you have a Plan Your Visit section, your service times, your address, a call to action button. Instead of rebuilding that on every relevant page, you create it once as a block, and then just drop that block wherever you need it. The real power is that when you update the block, it updates automatically everywhere it's used.
That's a big time saver for announcements or anything that repeats across pages.
Exactly. Event banners, giving prompts, contact info, anything that lives in more than one place on your site is a good candidate for a block.
One more thing I want to cover, managing photos and files. Where does that live?
There's a Files section in the website builder. You can upload images, PDFs, documents, whatever you need, and organize them into folders. When you're building a page and you need an image, you grab the URL from the Files section and paste it in. It keeps everything centralized so you're not hunting for where you put something.
All right, this brings us to try it this week. And I want to be specific about this one because we actually built something to make it easy. Carrie, walk us through it.
Okay, so we created a free file called the B1 AI Prompt Guide. Link is in the show notes. Here's what you do. Download the file. Open Claude Desktop, free at claude.ai. Drag that file right into the chat window. Type one sentence. I want to build my church website in B1. Hit send.
That's it?
That's it. Claude reads the guide and immediately knows how to help you. It'll ask whether you're starting from scratch or have an existing site, your church name, your pages, your colors. And then it starts building, generating real HTML, ready to paste with step-by-step instructions for exactly where to put it in B1.
What if you have an existing website you want to move over?
The guide handles that too. Tell Claude you have an existing site, give it your URL, and it'll rebuild your site section by section in B1. Same look, same feel. Just now it's free and connected to everything.
How long does this actually take?
10 minutes. If you sit down and give it 10 minutes, you will have at least one section on your homepage that looks genuinely professional. Not good for a church website. Just good. Most people are shocked by what comes out the first time.
Now, not everyone wants to do this themselves, and that is completely fine. Is there a human option?
There is, and she's really good. Her name is Emily, and she works specifically with churches on their B1 websites. She has a great eye for design, and she knows the platform inside and out. The first step is completely free. She offers a website evaluation where she looks at what you currently have and gives you honest feedback. The link for that is in the show notes.
And after that?
You can set up a one-on-one call with her, and she'll walk you through building your site. There's a one-time cost for her time. It's not a subscription. For a church that wants it done right the first time without figuring it out themselves, it's worth every bit of it. Her website is s5design.com.
AI route, DIY route, or bring Emily in. There's no reason anymore for a church not to have a great website. The guide link, Emily's evaluation link, and everything else is in the show notes. Thanks, Carrie. Great episode today.
This is one I've wanted to talk about for a while. Churches deserve great websites, and now there's really no reason not to have one.
We'll see you next time on the Church Apps Podcast.